95.5 R&B and old school for the Lou.
Girl, Raina Ray, and I'm here with Chris Latimer,
Yes.
who is founder and owner of the African American College Alliance. See, it's right there on his shirt.
Hey,
See
what's
that?
up? Yeah.
What is the African American College
Well, let me
Alliance?
correct you first.
Okay,
and I
correct me.
apologize.
No, don't apologize.
I'm not the founder.
Okay,
Actually, I was the first director of marketing hired for the company.
okay.
The founder is actually Mark Van Grack. And yeah.
All right. Well, so tell us, what is the
About the
African
brand?
American? Yeah.
All right, so I know a lot of you dope people at the Lou remember AACA from back in the day. We were the hottest urban clothing line in the early 90s.
Why is that? What made you so hot and so different from all the others back in the 90s?
So at that time, there were really only 4 brands that were really popping urban-wise. One was Walker-Wear, one was Cross Colors, Carl Kanai just started getting his toe in the water, and there was us. So those 3 brands focused on jeans and shirts and stuff like that, and we were strictly sweatsuits and sweat hoodies. So a cross-colored denim suit needed something else to go under it. So we were colorful like Cross Colors. If you look at our logo, the colors are kind of consistent, and so we became the piece you put on under.
Right.
And then, we started putting it, a lot of the rappers started gravitating to the brand, and then we became our own thing that was on top.
You're talking about brands,
Right.
and you guys found a way to really start branding things. You really, in the entrepreneurial spirit, really gave life to branding things. Talk about that a little.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny because, in this whole social media world, they've got these people called influencers, right? And all the influencer is, in today's terminology, is some kid that's at home that knows a lot of people, that wears stuff, that knows how to manipulate people's eyeballs, and
They just
brands
reinvented the wheel, huh?
Right, and brands pay the money. Well, back in our days, our influencers were our rap artists, our actors, and our ball players. And, to keep it 100, because I'm on the Lou, our hustlers.
Right.
And so what I did as from a branding perspective and some of my friends was, we knew the hot people in each market, so we started putting our clothes and apparel on them. And it was kind of weird because I was just kind of hustling the brand, right? But then, you start running into terminologies. Oh, you're a guru of marketing. You reinventing guerrilla marketing, So I started getting all these cushy names, and all these corporate people started calling me to do business. And then that grew into a couple of things that I did that were pretty monumental, that kind of changed the game. One of them was I eventually became the agency of record. I had a company called The Streets, Inc., and I became the agency of record for Shiflin and Somerset, who was the distributor of Johnny Walker and Hennessy and Tanqueray. And
That's
one
big
of my,
time.
Yeah. Just from putting clothes on people to that. So now I'm an agency.
Right.
And one of my big things I did was I put the gin and juice, the Tanqueray bottles in the gin and juice video with Snoop and Dre, which kind of increased sales by 25%.
Speaking of video, something else that you did where branding is concerned and bridging gaps, you took a sport like hockey, which was not anything that a particular market was ever interested in doing. You brought those worlds together and you made the hockey jersey thing blow up. How did that come to be?
Wow. So when I was doing product placement for mostly urban brands, what eventually happened was there was this guy, God bless the dead, his name was Rob Strausser, and he used to work with a guy named Peter Moore, and they were really the guys responsible for the explosion of the Jordan brand. So eventually they left and got involved with Adidas back in the early 90s. So I was at a apparel show, and one of my clients at the time introduced me to Rob Strausser, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're that guy? You're the reason they blur the logos on MTV? Oh, you're great." Da, 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 da. So he started running me around the brands. He was like, "You need to do business with this kid. You need to do business." And one of the brands Well, actually, he didn't walk me into them. We were walking by the booth, and there was a company called CCM, and they made all the hockey jerseys, the professional hockey jerseys. And we were walking by, I was like, oh man, I blow that brand up. And he's like, really? And I was like, he was like, hockey jerseys? I was like, dude, you don't understand. Me and Puff, I went to school with P. Diddy. We went to Howard together.
Name drop, name
HU,
drop.
not no name drop. No name drop when he's your man. HU, you know. So, you know, we used to go down to a store in Philly called Mitchell and Ness before it became a brand.
Yeah.
It was a little store, and they used to make all this throwback stuff.
Okay.
So everybody was wearing loose stuff. So we were like wearing hockey jerseys like a year and a half before I blew it up.
Wow.
So then Rob walked into the booth and told the guys, like, you need to meet with these guys. And another friend of mine, Robert Cronenberger, who owns a big hat company called American Needle, who actually manufactures my hats, he, you know, signed off on it. So I ended up doing this deal with CCM, and they sent me 4 hockey jerseys. And the first 4 people I put hockey jerseys on, the first 3 was Snoop. I dressed him in, ironically, the same Gin and Juice video when he's sitting on the bike and he's in that Pittsburgh Penguins jersey.
Yes, yes.
Right? So I made that jersey for him.
Okay.
And I put Gin and Juice on the back of it. Then in that same video, when he says everybody got their cut but they ain't chip in, and he backs up,
right.
He's got on a Springfield Indians jersey,
Okay.
that he wore in that video. And I just picked that jersey for him because I kind of felt he looked like an Indian. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So I put that one. The second one I put on Queen Latifah on Living Single. I forget the name of her magazine and the show. I think it was Flavor or something like that. So I made a jersey for her with Flavor on the back.
Okay.
It was New Jersey Devils because she's from New Jersey.
Right.
She wore that. And then the third person I dressed, God bless the dead, my good friend, was Fight Dog. And I forget the video that he did, but they're like riding in his car through Queens,
Right,
and he's
right.
got on the New Jersey Devils. And I sent back those placements to CCM, and they immediately did a deal with me, $20,000 a month retainer for 2 years. And then I also told them that I'm not just going to blow up the brand without being able to help my people. So they also allowed me to start a sales team that got 10% of the sales for all the for all the hockey jerseys they sold in the urban retail.
You know, in everything that you're saying, I'm really hearing that entrepreneurial spirit coming through.
Thank you.
But I'm not just hearing a guy who's got a hustle that's going out there and doing things. I'm hearing some hard work, some thoughts, some really thought out plans on how you're going to make this happen. You know, talk about that, because I think a lot of people who think I'm going to get into business, I'm going to make a bunch of money, I'm going to find a way to make some money, don't really think about all these things that you're talking about today.
Right. Well, I mean, the first thing, you know, in this social media driven world that I was anti the next man's thoughts on my walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I remember I've even been in my office with my staff, and I put product on the table, and the one that they said, don't do that, ended up being the best seller, you know what I'm saying? And I did it anyway, you know? So I think the first thing, you know, my situation, single parent home, is, you know, when you gotta eat, when you gotta make it happen, you gotta do, and what the next man says is if it ain't enhancing what you're doing, you can't listen to it. And then from a business perspective, you know, it was important to have an accountant and, you know, things I didn't know, you know, to call people that do, you know. So I have friends, you know, one of my good friends is no name drop, and I'm just being honest. One of my good friends is Keith Klingscale.
Oh, yeah, name drop. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Go
Who was
ahead.
the president of Vibe magazine and did a couple of incredible documentaries on ESPN, and was recently the president of Revolt, Puffy's television channel. You know, I remember when I was pitching Tanqueray, right? Because I didn't know what a pitch was. I'm doing product placement. But if you don't know, you call somebody that does. And don't call them with the expectation of getting free information. If you don't have the bread to pay them now, make sure when you do get right that you take care of. You know what I'm saying? And if you got the bread to pay them now,
do it right.
Pay your people. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
we have a habit of, you know, paying a lawyer that walks in that don't look like us and taking advantage of our people and not holding them down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I called him in and I was like, yo, I got to pitch Tanqueray and I don't even know what a pitch is. So he sat down with me and walked me through the whole process of how to do a pitch. And we went in there and we pitched against some of the biggest African-American agencies in the country, and we killed it.
Wow.
Because we brought my crew's swag to the table,
Right.
and my boys' knowledge of how to pitch,
Right.
and we just were ourselves as opposed to, so a lot of things. So that, building your business, having a good team behind you, taking your time, stacking your money, as soon as it starts coming in, you don't have to spend it.
Don't go buy that fancy car the minute you start getting some money.
Definitely don't buy it if you're going to get at least that joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's another interview. That's a whole nother interview than the one we're doing today.
Right.
But you know what? One of the things that I really like about you is that you talk about paying it forward. You talk about making sure you take care of the people who are helping you get to where you're getting. You're not stepping on anybody, and you're just doing it the right way. And you emphasize doing it the right way.
Well, I'm trying, to do it the right way. I do make some mistakes, as everybody does, and you got to circle back. I think right now we live in a world where people don't have a conscience, and I have a conscience. I was raised by my community. That's why I always give back. That's why I'm always thinking about my people, every move that I do. Even with ACA, it's important for me to restart that renaissance of the early 90s when all the young rappers wore black colleges, right? Because the enrollment for young black males like quadrupled in that moment. Wow. And the crazy thing is when this brand died in like 95, because it was white owned, I'm just buying it now. When the brand died in 95, do you know that the enrollment of young black high school students in black colleges only increased 1%? With a female enrollment from 95 to now increased 69%.
Wow.
So I'm hoping with the resurgence of the brand, and now I'm name dropping. African American College Alliance, support us for our babies. I'm hoping that I can redo that again with some of the new artists that are coming out now.
Right.
And get back.
Where can people get in touch with you, get these shirts, get the product? How do we do that?
All right. Well, I'm single and my phone number. No, I'm just playing.
This is not the dating game. Come on now.
But I am single, but not that I'm throwing it out there.
All right, ladies. So if you need a date and a shirt.
Wow. All right. I'll take that. So my website is aacaclothing.com. That's aacaclothing.com. We have product that we're selling now. We've got some T-shirts like the one I have on. We're known for sweatshirts. Some of those are on there as well. Follow me on IG. It's AACA Clothing on Instagram and Twitter. That's where I'm at.
All right, we have to wrap this
and
up.
Facebook.
We have to wrap this up because I need to go get me one of those shirts
And
right now.
Let's
all right?
do it.
And you guys,
love the Lou.
Yep, that's for you. Hope you loved it. Check us out. We got lots more to talk to you about right here on 95.5.
Yes.